Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch 'cause you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating 'cause I on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, huh? They all like the man.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the New York Giants. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They've been in a great groove. Winners of 7 of their last 10 on the year.
And last week's win was indicative of how good this team can be. It was a complete performance.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they come in playing reasonably well. Losers the last time out, but winners of 4 or 5 before that. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Side caught by Ridley. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Ryan. He's got his tight end, Jake Bunt. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. From midfield now, here's Ryan. And he comes back with one complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 35. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
The numbers for Freeman a week ago. 19 carries, 68 yards, and an alley to run.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman with touchdown number 12 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting the loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. Whatever they said appears to have worked. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by a man who was undrafted out of Buffalo, standing at 6'7". It's Tyree Jackson.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stand an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Here's the offense, and we give you too much power here. We let you highlight the player. Why'd you choose Zeitler?
Because I think the big guys up front never get enough credit. Kevin Zeitler, a guard, tough, nasty. We've got to give him some love.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on third. From the gun, Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterback. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Go.
Here's Ryan. Complete out right to Jake Butt. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
They'll run here with Freeman. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Deon Cain, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot. But nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs. So a good start, but a long way to go.
And you know a blunt veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said, you know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done. What do we want to be? It's like winning a title in August, right, in preseason. Doesn't count. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. Past the 20, 10, touchdown, Giants. Evan Ingram, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. 2nd quarter now, Falcon football. 2nd quarter now, Falcon football. They've got it 3rd and 10 here to start things out. Now it's Ryan. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Lorenzo Carter in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. The New York set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Open man right side is Ingram. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. From the gun, it's Jackson. Got a man, Slayton. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, they run with Smith. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 5 now. Jackson over the middle. He's got his tight end Ingram. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Tyrone Crawford, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. Want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. I'm talking about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Ryan. Got his man, that's the Pro Bowler Julio Jones. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Ryan, throw left side on target to Kane, complete. Only 3 yards. It's 3rd down. 5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. From the shotgun, Ryan. And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes. Lorenzo Carter, his 2nd sack of the night.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Fournette on the counter. And this will be a gain of right around 3 from the 7 out to the 10-yard line. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he will have the first down here as he's up to the 15. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Jackson.
When you're dead last in the NFL in third down conversions, the odds are against you every time you face it. How about him picking up that one? That was big for them. You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Matt Bosher now. And no room comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. This is taken at the 15. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Matt Ryan and the Falcon offense set to get going again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And a pretty good run, all things considered. Probably would have liked that in the first quarter instead of right now as the clock continues to run. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Man, where has the season gone? We're into week 15 now. So let's give everybody a look at what's coming up here on what should be a very interesting weekend of football. In the early window, lots of good matchups to choose from.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his... Offense back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright when he's been upright. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Jackson now operating from the gun. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Jackson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 40. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now it's Jackson. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
Trying to make a comeback often appears daunting, but the only way to get there, start small, score, and worry about getting the next one after that.
From the gun, Jackson. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
7 big. Yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming.
It's now 3rd and 45. Mike, 45. That's right, baby.
They'll try to punch it in with Fournette, and he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. So the defensive front holding strong there on 4th and inches.
And how about the battle of big people up front? That turned into a leverage game, didn't it? Defensive linemen, they won it. Lower than the offensive guys, pushed them back, knifed through, and made a great play.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Fielded just inside the 30. Nice job bringing that one back. 14. On the return, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The New York set to take the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about it.
Oh, Fournette loses it. It's out. And the Falcons grab it. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder Whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not, now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. On first down, Ryan. And he's going to go down. He's sacked. Dexter Lawrence coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. And this Giants defense getting off the ball quickly. They stop him behind the line again. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. 3rd and long. It's Ryan. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. On 2nd and 12, Jackson finds his tight end Ingram. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Jackson from the gun, he'll throw. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Falcons grab it. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Now this throw caught left side, and he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Ryan now going to try to run the option left. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The end result, 21 yards.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Here's Ryan. And the pressure gets to him again.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Ryan, that one into the hands of Kane. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, that one hurts a bit. That was a golden opportunity to possibly put this one on ice, but he comes up empty.
And how big of a miss might that turn out to be? Stay tuned. There's still time left on the clock. This could be critical.
Still a one-score game. Had he hit that, it would have been 2 scores. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. To throw is Jackson. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. It's a first down on a gain of 10. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. Now after the completion, we're going to get a turn to MetLife Stadium. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Fournette running out of the gun. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. He's got daylight. He's at the 30, the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Oh, that's about as tough as they come. You're driving to try to put the ball in the end zone and tie the game, and that happens.
It's exciting for us, wasn't it? Because we were thinking, hey, we might be headed towards overtime. Instead, it looks like this one may very well be done. And guess what? If you're a fantasy owner and you have that defense, you just had a big, big game, didn't you?
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Throwing is Jackson. And he will find his man on the outside. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And it's caught. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. From 10 yards out, as his guys are back within a single score.
Big score. First step in their attempt to climb back into this game.
Yes, but still some work to do as they get within a score here. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it? Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up, and he will bring it back to the 4-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got...
And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Now from the 9, here's second and goal.
That's how we do, D. It's a loss of 5.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And they're knocking on the door. Second and goal now in a one-score game. Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on third and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
They're going on fourth down. It's Jackson. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Darius Slayton with touchdown number 7 on the year. As they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused because they still have some work to do?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Falcons send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Let's take it inside his own 40. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give him 9, though, on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up first and 10. Jackson to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Throwing now is Jackson. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Here's Jackson to throw. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Here now is second and 10, again from the 41.
can't believe they even let you play.
On the run, it's Fournette. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So it'll all come down to the booming right leg of Greg Zuerlein. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So it'll all come down to the booming right leg of Greg Zuerlein. This from long, very long range. And off the crossbar, and it kicks back out. Needed maybe a foot or 2, but it's no good as it stands. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Wide open receiver, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jackson, and that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. In need of a 3rd and 10 conversion to keep this opening drive of OT alive. From the gun, it's Jackson. Oh, so close, but incomplete. Could have been a big turnover in overtime if he'd held on. Instead, though, it's 4th down. Well done by the defense. They did their job here in overtime.
Boy, did they ever, because now it's 4th and really long. So if you do decide to go for it, people think you might be a little bit on the nut side, don't they? But guess what? If I did decide to go for it, I'd call something deep. I'd throw a deep pass and hope that the defense didn't remember to just knock it down. If they intercept it, it's almost like a great punt and helps out your defense with field position.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. Another carry for the workhorse tonight, Freeman. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up in a 3rd and 9 situation. Ryan. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Check 13. Check
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And this will go for 5 up to the 33. This being their second opportunity in overtime, third overall drive, see if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
19 yards to pick up there, move the chains. Jackson on first down. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he's got this down to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. 2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the pistol, it's Fournette. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
4 yards the pickup, first down. Fournette, and he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Now we've got a giant player here, slow to get up after that last play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. On 2nd down, here's Smith. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. So it'll all come down to the booming right leg of Greg Zuerlein. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance out field goals from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.